Hello everybody, welcome back to Needle Workshop. My name is Emily and today we'll be looking at our newest series of patterns, the circle skirt bundle and the gathered circle skirt. They are also available in separate listings that you can find on our website. As per usual, these patterns come with super detailed instructions that include tons of extra information, such as a measurement guide, a print guide with various printing options, some material suggestions, and tons of pictures and graphics to help you through the tutorial. This will be a very handy series of patterns that can be used with an array of different cosplay projects and can be mixed and matched with any of our fitted bodice patterns that we sell. For instance, you could easily switch out the skirt from the fairy princess pattern for one of these circle skirts to change up the look and feel of the costume. Very versatile pattern indeed. Now let's take a closer look at what we've got. As you might have already assumed, the patterns for a full-length skirt are absolutely humongous. I highly recommend using the A0 format and getting them printed in a shop to save on time, paper, and energy. Other at-home printing formats will still be available, and in the booklet included with the pattern, we'll include which pages to specifically print for shorter skirts. So for this video, I've attached the two pocket pieces together and we'll be making them in the same fabric as the skirt rather than the usual self-lining combo. This will just help me save some time since I have 5 skirts to cut and sew for this video. Another important part of making a circle skirt is to let the skirt panels hang with the hem downwards and let gravity pull on them. Because some of the cuts are on the bias of the fabric, they will naturally be prone to stretching. Letting them hang for a certain amount of time, I recommend honestly, probably up to 24 hours, will help stretch out the bias and you can return to them with your pattern to readjust the hem. This is also why it's actually really handy to have a pattern for a circle skirt rather than measuring it straight out of the fabric. It makes adjusting the stretched out hem much faster and much easier, especially when you're starting to have really big skirt panel pieces. Even a shorter skirt like this one will stretch itself out on the bias. The tutorial for these skirts is almost exactly the same as the A-line skirt we've done in the past. The link to that video will be in the description box below, but we have optimized one of the steps for better results. When sewing the pockets to the side seam, you'll want to align the edge of your pocket to the side seam of the skirt, both front and back panels, between the top and down to the notch. Sew in place 1 centimeter from the edge with a straight stitch. Also overlock that edge from the top down to 3 centimeters past the notch. Next, you'll want to sew your back and front skirt panels to each other along the side seam. Sew the top pocket area 7 millimeters from the edge, then go around the pocket bag and down the rest of the seam allowance 1 centimeter from the edge. Follow this up with an overlock stitch. And that's pretty much the only major change from the previous tutorials. The results are very similar, but overlocking the two side seams together rather than separately looks a little cleaner and just a little bit more professional. The written tutorial that comes with the patterns has that updated step-by-step version. Other things to keep in mind: when sewing the hem, sew your rolled hem facing down. Since the rolled edge technically has more length of fabric, it's easier to disperse that extra fabric evenly once rolled up by having it be facing down. Essentially, it helps prevent weird stretching that can create puckering when finishing the hem. Another hot tip: if you're looking for that extra magical girl poof, you can sew in some horse braid hair into the hem. This will help keep all the gathers looking extra spiffy and kind of locking the swirl motion into place. Honestly, it looks pretty fantastic. As mentioned previously, this tutorial is also applicable to the gathered skirt. The main difference is the gathered skirt will need to be gathered before being sewn into the waistband. We do have a video available on how to gather, which will be linked in the description box below. Also important to note is that you do not gather the pocket bags. They are applied over the gathers after you're done with your gathering. Now let's take a look at the differences between our 4 different circle skirt styles. So the first skirt is a quarter circle skirt. It's the one with the least width at the bottom. It's also the closest to an A-line look, but with slightly more volume at both the hem and the hips. I used a very light cotton to make this one, and as always, our pattern includes some pockets. Next is the half circle skirt. This one is one of my favorites in terms of volume. I used the same light cotton as previously, and you can see right away that even with the same fabric, there's a clear difference in how it swirls. I find it's perfect for a quick fashion item or for something a little bit more regal. Next, we have the 3/4 skirt. I used a much heavier cotton for this one just to give you a sense of how the fabric can affect the look. So when using a slightly heftier fabric, you do end up losing a little bit of whoosh essentially. So to make up for that, you might want to use a skirt with a bit more volume to help counter that. Last but not least, we have the full circle skirt. This one has a massive amount of volume and it requires the most material out of all the skirts. I personally love how swooshy it is. It's perfect for a princess gown or even a fairy gown. Also perfect for all your cottagecore needs. The gathered skirt pattern has even more volume due to the additional gathering at the waistband. You can really get some epic size skirts with this one. In the shorter range, it's perfect for any magical girl or idol look. Lastly, if you're looking to use a fabric with a linear print, you'll need to be really careful when cutting and assembling at the side seams. You'll want to make sure that the lines of the print match up properly at both the side seams and at the center back. If you're looking to keep the printed pattern as horizontal as possible, your best option would be to split the pattern into several smaller panels and then assemble them together to get back the full width of the skirt. Always keep in mind that you'll need to add some seam allowance when splitting any pattern. I think that covers everything for these patterns. We're hoping to put out more basic patterns that can be easily mixed and matched with each other and that allow cosplayers to do an array of different projects using just one pattern. We definitely have some ideas of what we want to do next, but we'd love to hear what you would like to see, so please make sure to let us know in the comment section below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe if you like these kind of videos. Your support means everything to us, not to be dramatic or anything. And as always, you can follow us on our socials and tag us in your projects if you'd like for us to see and share your work. So hope this was helpful, and as always, good luck with your projects, guys. Bye bye.